you know what I do want to see is I want to see more of Callum. Like, I want to see more of him, like, really having to think about these things. Like, I mean, I like Callum, but like, I do want to see more from him. Like, especially if he is going to go down a dark path. I mean, I which he might or be tempted to do that. I want to get into more of his psyche, and especially one thing in particular. I want to see what he thinks about Claudia. Like, I mean, I want him to actually really reflect on this. I mean, he
Mhm.
Claudia was his beloved girlfriend. Like, he thought he was going to, spend his life with her, and then not only does that not happen, but she becomes this monstrous, vile, obsessive figure. Like, what do you think about that, Callum? And not just, oh, hey, that's not good. Like, really, what do you think about that?
Right, a scene where they talk about that, about how him and Ez. I wonder what Ez has to say about this.
Yeah.
Remember they were like hanging out and like on the rooftop talking bonding about their lives, or when he decided not to throw them in prison for the crimes of their father, he showed mercy, and then she just like tries to choke the life out of him with a giant like Ursula tentacle, and it's just like, what are you guys? How are you guys feeling about this? You guys good? We need to do like a little vibe check, with some of these guys. Like, how you doing? Soren, your sister turned into an octopus and tried to murder my brother. It's kind of weird because I had a crush on her. Uh, like I don't know, like somebody. Yeah, I'm with you. Definitely, I would love to see that kind of
Yeah.
discussion for sure. I'm curious about this tower that they're going to. I'm really interested. I mean, I'm sure we're gonna go there. I'm curious
Yeah.
about like so we have like I guess they said it was Skywing elves that run it.
Hmm.
I reckon that this is the place where we are going to learn about Erebos. This is where we're going to get that information, who he is, what he did, specifically what he did that got him in prison, and we'll probably figure out who this jailer character is probably there, I imagine, right as he gets freed by the end of that season, probably.
Yeah. I, I really like how we've kind of gone through each of the seasons. I mean, not each of the seasons, but each season goes through these different elements, these different sources. And I like that this season was water and or ocean, and they actually tied that into Rayla's fear about the ocean. And I know it's just your typical heroic moment in a lot of ways, but I like Rayla, kind of being a bit anxious about the water and kind of getting out, like, I don't know about this, but then eventually diving back in and feeding Claudia, and or certainly saving Callum and Ezra. And like, I don't know, that was just very very affecting to me. Like, I I don't know. I guess it's just because we've seen Rayla's fear of water just be something that they talked about since
Mm-hmm.
the very start of the show. And
Yeah, it's inspirational. It's inspirational to
yeah,
see her conquer her fear and to go help Callum and Ez. Yeah, for sure. I see what you mean. Yeah,
yeah,
definitely.
yes, especially since so much of this season regarding Rayla is about, can we really? I mean, can Callum really trust her? After what happened, like, can he really believe that she is going to really commit to this, that she's going to, be willing to just throw herself into this situation, into this relationship, and really be there for Callum, even in really not great moments that she wants no part of. And at the end of the season, I think the implied answer to that is very much yes, which I don't know. I find it sweet. Like, it's not as morally fascinating as the whole Viren and Claudia stuff, but it's a heartfelt moment nonetheless.
Definitely, definitely. Yeah, for sure. And I love the moment when she goes and she hugs him and he just looks so defeated after using the dark magic, and we can kind of
Yeah,
see her being there for him and while he was kind of dealing with something, and he didn't tell her about any of this, so there's another kind of rift there that is going to have to come up at some point, I imagine. dramatically that he used dark magic to save them, and without dark magic, they all would have been fish food. Uh, so that's gonna be a fun talk.
Yeah,
Do
yeah.
you think Finnegrin's gonna come back, or do you think he's like for sure dead? He got thrown into a fish monster's mouth.
I don't know. I think he might come back. I mean, we've seen a lot of characters in this show that I never thought we would see again, but then they come back into the show. So
Because I figure somebody needs to be the person to be like he used dark magic. I mean, I guess Callum might come clean on his own, but I can't imagine what would prompt that.
mm,
Like why he would feel the need to say that. But I figure the only person who could have maybe had an idea, maybe the Driftwood guy, the big dude, whatever. What was that guy, by the way? Do you know what he was? That an Earthblood? Was he or some kind of creature? I don't know. What did that dude? I need to ask. I need to get Arity has and interview him. And my only question is gonna be that. It's just gonna be like a 2-minute interview. I'll be like, so what was that guy? And how do you say your last name? And that's gonna be it. That's gonna be like
yeah,
my 2 questions. That's gonna be it.
yeah. I will say one thing I really liked is just about this season is just how they just worked in the water and the ocean into everything. I mean,
Mhm.
from Callum's kind of uh, I don't know what to call it, endearing, I guess, obsession with these ocean love poems at the start to to
Yes.
do everything that has to do with the sea and the pirates and Finnegrin and all the rogues of the ocean to eventually Claudia, Rayla overcoming her fear of water, and Claudia very much passing into the depths of the ocean, like very metaphorically significant, kind of
Mhm.
passing that threshold into the murky depths. Like I kind of liked to have the basic source. I keep wanting to call them elements, kind of integrated into this entire season. I liked how they did that, and
Mhm.
I want to see more of that in season 6.
Is this the only season that feels like it was appropriately named for the primal source that it's named after?
Well, yeah. I mean, I kind of forget what the other ones were named
Right?
after
Well, I
at
was
this
thinking
point.
about it. Okay,
Kind of,
so the first season's called Moon, and that's
yeah.
kind of appropriate because the first three
Rayla.
episodes deal with the moon and the assassins showing up during the full moon. So there's that, but we learn about moon magic in season 2, which is called gosh, what is it? Air? Is it
Air.
air?
Well, I mean, I guess that
Wait,
makes
is it
sense.
air? I don't even remember.
Since I
Is it
think it is
sky?
because it has to be, since that's the one where Callum
It is sky.
masters the sky magic.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is sky. It's sky. So we learned about moon magic and sky magic in the same season, and then in book 3, it's sun. It's the sun, which I guess is appropriate because we do go to Luxoria, but we don't learn anything about the actual primal. We don't learn the arcanum or anything for it.
Yeah,
And then
yeah. I will say that's not to keep bringing up Avatar, but that's one thing I really think that show did well. Is it didn't just say, "Oh, hey, here's water, here's fire, here's earth." Like it really delved into like, okay, what's the kind of philosophy? What's the kind of mindset behind
right,
all these
and we
different?
went to those places.
Yeah,
In water season, we went to the water poles, and then in the earth season, we spent most of it in the Earth Kingdom. Then in the fire season, we spent it mostly in the fire place. So I mean, that kind of makes sense. But like, in we don't go to the we guess we go to the moon nexus, but that's in season 2, not one. Season 1 should of the Dragon Fruit should have been called like season 1. I don't know, humans or something. It's a bit mouthy, I'd let the professional writers kind of iron that out a little bit, go with a little catchier. But
so let's see. We've had moon, sky, sun, earth. Earth was 4.
Earth was
That's
4.
kind of weird.
It has nothing to
Okay,
do with Earth. I mean, they went to
Very,
an Earth Kingdom forest. I think that's Earth Kingdom. Is it? Is there an Earth Kingdom? I don't even know. The Drakewood? Is that Earth
yeah.
Kingdom? Is that their land? I guess.
And then you have 5, which was Ocean.
Hmm.
That fit. I like that a lot. So, what do we have left? What do we have
Stars. Stars is the only one left. Stars and Dark. And Dark's got to be the last one because it's so
Yeah.
dramatic.
So,
Dark.
we're going into the stars season. So I'm hoping for a lot of wild cosmic imagery.
Mhm. I want.
I'm hoping it just goes crazy, like full surreal, full just show us the most wild and crazy, beautiful, strange things in the world.
Oh, for sure, definitely. I'm so interested in what exactly is the nature of Erebos' prison. He's in like a
Yeah.
weird crystal ball thing, and I'm
Mhm.
like, do you smash it? Is it like the primal stone? Like if you just drop that sucker, is he free or or what?
I really just want more about Erebos in general. I mean, I really liked your video about Zubeia.
Oh,
It's like,
thanks. Yeah, I don't want to call the lady biased, but she made a lot of really big, sweeping like judgments against him in her stories. So I don't think we can fully trust everything she said, whether she was intentionally or unintentionally misleading, because of her own bias. But yeah, I think it's going to be really interesting, like the full story. I feel like
yeah.
we have not gotten the full story. Erebos being the elf Illuminati secretly behind all the evil people in the world's history. That sounds untrue to me. And it sounds very un-Dragon
And it's
Prince.
against even what we get in the show.
Exactly.
We see how Erebos affected Viren. Like, it wasn't because Viren was either very wahaha, like super villainous, or because he was like a naive dope. Like, Viren was desperate because he had suffered a lot of loss and a lot of tragedy in his life,
Hmm.
and he wanted some answers and some reassurances. So
Hmm.
he turned to Erebos. That's I don't want to say it's the right decision. Obviously, it wasn't, but that's understandable. It's not like Erebos is just deterministically controlling how everyone behaves.
Right, right, for sure, for sure. So, and I think it's gonna be. We haven't really gotten a taste of what he's after. We still don't know what his plan is. We
Hmm.
knew because I remember, like, what was it in was it season 1 of Avatar: The Last Airbender? They introduced the idea of Sozin's comet and how Sozin used it to devastate the world or something like that, and then that's brought back in season 3 that he's going to use it again. This Ozai is going to use it. So they kind of introduced like an idea of what the big bad is going to do in the end, but we still have no idea what Erebos is
Yeah.
going to do. I'm at Vengeance. I imagine he seems to really relish killing that Sunfire Elf Queen. He seemed to really enjoy that. So I think probably we're gonna tie it back to the cycle of violence, and he's gonna want to hurt the people who hurt him. Probably.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think that would at least make more sense than just he's evil because he's evil.
Right. So, like, what was his what was he trying to accomplish? That's what I want to know. Because
Yeah.
according to Zubeia, he was behind all, like, every evil human ever was secretly him whispering into their ears. To what end?
Mm.
What was he
Yeah.
trying to accomplish? Like, that's what's missing from her story, is any kind of his side of the story, any kind of his perspective. He was trying to align all of the, I don't, he just, there's nothing, there's it's just, he was evil and he did all these, everything bad was his fault apparently. So
Yeah. So yeah, it's gonna be interesting. I'm I was already interested in Claudia, but this season has made me extremely invested in her story to see where it goes.
yes, yes, I have been rooting for her to turn full blown evil for a
Mhm.
long time. This is the kind of path that is so dramatic.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm here for. I want drama. You know,
Yeah,
I'm
I
like,
will say at the end of season 4, I was a bit worried that, after what happened with the confrontation with Rayla, and Terry's like, "You shouldn't do that, Claudia," and she's like, "Oh well, okay, sure."
mhm.
I kind of thought that would kind of be as far as she goes. I'm very delighted that was not the case.
You yes,
So.
yes, 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 and then
Oh,
we
oh, oh,
see.
also just speaking of Rayla, I do want to see them free Rayla's parents.
Me too.
I like extra points if that doesn't exactly go according to plan. I imagine that they just free them and then they're like, "Why are you with a human, Rayla?"
So one of my favorite theories that I made, and I never made a video about it because this actually predates my YouTube channel, but it's on one of my old accounts on Reddit. I I had said that I had always hoped that it would be Viren who would free them from their coin prison. Because you
Huh.
got to think, how are they going to get him out of there? It's dark magic. They need somebody with an understanding of dark magic to do it. So who do we have in the show? Well, we have two characters. We have what's his name, Viren and Claudia. Claudia's not going to do it, but Viren might, as a gesture of goodwill,
Mm.
to kind of gain trust, perhaps. Not too dissimilar to Zuko fighting Sparky Sparky Boom Man, kind
Yeah.
of similar in that vein to establish trust and maybe to bolster the good guys' numbers. But
Mm.
I don't know if that's going to happen now with the way that season 5 ended, although it still could. Maybe he runs away from her or something and she like turns into a scary goblin monster and flies through the sky to try to catch. Oh, so do you remember how I complained that they weren't using the dragons to scour the skies for Claudia?
Yes.
Dude, they saw my video, I swear, because they literally, that was like the second episode of this, they do that, and I was like, yes, thank you. Dragons are an excellent resource. You should always use your dragons. And it could have worked. I don't know. I don't know if that one dragon could have gone back and like told the other dragons, like, yo, that crazy human lady, she's on that river down there. Let's get like 30 of us and go get her. But it's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Yeah. I'm really looking forward to season 6, and that's a good compliment for the show. I think that's a sentiment that's held by a lot of people. I think
Mhm.
there is significantly more enthusiasm now than there was at the end of season 4.
Yes, and I think a lot of it. I thought about making a video about this. I might not, but I think a lot of it has to do with the way that the season 4 ended. Because at the end of season 4, it ends with the shot of his of Viren's eyes glowing like purple, and like nobody knew what the heck that meant. Even I was confused. I was like, "Wait, is he possessed? Is he not possessed? Is that just dark magic? If it's just dark magic, why are we ending on this season on that note? Because him doing dark magic wasn't really a big deal. Like in
Yeah.
the show, it wasn't like a big problem. I don't know. I think a big part of season 4 is kind of like way it kind of floundered out very shortly was I think that the ending didn't really grab people the way that it
Yeah.
should have.
Yeah. I think that's fair.
Yeah, I think a better way to end that season would have been to end it with Erebos somehow. Maybe just hard cut to him looking into the mirror, watching the events, and then smiling menacingly, and then executive producers and just
Yeah.
that's it. I don't know. I don't know if that would play better or not, but it definitely felt incomplete. And
Yeah.
knowing that season 4 and 5 were initially conceived to be the same season makes so much
Yeah.
sense,
That's a lot of sense.
doesn't it?
I will say I'm still not entirely satisfied with Kareem. I mean,
Hmm.
I like him as a character, all right, but still don't know what to do with that whole plot line.
Right. I'm here for it. I'm here
Yeah.
for it. I'm down. I'm down with where this is going. Erebos is going to have a full blown army when he comes out of
Yeah.
Sunfire Elves and probably
Yes.
even Soul Rhaegar on his
I'm pretty sure
side.
it's gonna all tie in.
Yeah, it's going to be great. Well, because the Sunfire Elf priest, we saw very briefly he had that bite on his neck. He was initially bitten by the little caterpillar creature, right?
Mhm.
So I'm assuming that he's working under the orders of Erebos. And so everything that Kareem is doing, his force that he's building, is going to become Erebos' force when he comes out.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah, I can see that. That's
this is gonna be this is great. They're setting up a whole final battle, I imagine.
yeah,
Oh, did we even
I
talk
can
about
definitely see
Amaya?
that.
We didn't talk about Amaya or Chennai at all. We didn't
Oh
completely
no.
skip that plot line.
Oh, I guess my Viren obsession just clouds my mind.
No, same. I love Viren so much. He's such a compelling character.